Hello there, my name is Michael Lason, and this video, it's going to be brief. I had promised that I was going to make this video. This video is basically for loading crash and boom. When I say you load, I mean you use very huge lot sizes, and then within a few minutes or seconds it drops on you with massive profit. How do you do that? It's not different from what I've taught. It's just that there is just one thing I need to point to you, and that thing has to do with exhaustion. Before a drop occurs in crash or boom, what actually causes that drop is what we call exhaustion. Exhaustions are points that are likely invisible into the eye, but where you may likely have resistance and support. Okay, I want to say that again. Exhaustions are points that are invisible to the eye. That is, resistance and support point that are invisible to the eye. You are likely not seeing it, but it occurs because the exhaustion point we are talking about, we can only trap it using 5 minutes time frame. Is that okay? So I want to take you to what I look out for before I load my crash. I don't just load crash because I want to load or because it looks like it's going to crash. There's something that it looks like. You must be able to at least 95% predict that there's going to be a crash, and there is something that does that for you. I mean, this is pretty simple. I've done this more than 100 times. It never failed for once. The only thing it does, it will test your patience. All right, and of course that's market for you. However, I'm not saying it's going to be 100% all the time, but I can tell you 95% of the time you're going to get it right. That's true. Okay, let's get to the stuff. Checklist for loading crash and boom. Loading is in code because I decided to call it loading, where you stack your trades with many positions. You can use 10 lot size into 4 places, and then after like a minute it drops and you make $1,000. You're asking me, is it true? Of course it's true. I've done it over and over again. I've done it over and over again. I've done it over and over again. All right, making crazy money in a very simple way with peace of mind. Okay, if you're watching this video, I'd like to say you're privileged and go through all the videos I have uploaded already. This should be the 5th or 6th video, I don't know, but go through all my videos if you really wish to understand how to trade crash and boom. However, let me say this very quickly. I'm not supposed to say this, but let me just say this here. For those of you who are struggling, blowing accounts here and there, well, I have been, commission, that's the word to use, to raise 100 millionaires in 2021 by the grace of God. I run in a mentorship program where you have to pay a token for a lifetime. I'm not interested in the money, but just your commitment. I want you to be committed to the project. And then in that mentees group, I teach people how to catch trades, how to trade. I do live trainings via Zoom and all of that. And the goal is to mentor you to become a self-sufficient trader. A dependable trader. You can make money without the help of any other person. And my mentees so far, they are doing very well. And I want to encourage you, if you're there, you want to be part of the group, after this video, just chat me up on Telegram. All right, I will be dropping a link where you can reach me so that we talk about your progress. I wish you well. Now back to the video. Checklist for loading crash and boom. Now to load up for crash sale with huge lot sizes without fear of fidgeting. What I mean is that for you to stack those trade without necessarily getting afraid, will it crash or will it not crash? Well, necessarily we don't trade crash. I mean, we don't trade the spike. We trade patterns. We trade structure. So you may want to go through all the videos I have made before so that you understand the pattern, what we are talking about. But for this loading, the loading is actually based on pattern. That's why the first condition is that ensure that crash is on a downtrend. That is for you that crash you sell, crash you buy, boom most of the time. So you ensure that crash is on a downtrend. How do you know a downtrend? Go back to my previous video, that would have done justice. But if you've gone through the video, you understand what I mean. Now, 2, use Zoom level 3 of your chart. I'm going to explain this practically, so don't worry. Let's just go through it. And then let's go to the chart now. Let's go to the chart. Don't mind me. I'm just using this to show something. I had to freeze this because a lot of messages are coming in and all. I don't want call. I don't want to but what I'm going to explain is fine. Okay, now let's look at this. Now let's look at this. First and foremost, how do you catch those when I say load? Well, this has been on a downtrend, right? How do you know that it is time for you to load? I want to show you something very simple. It's just a secret. It's not complicated. The first thing I said is that make sure that crash is on a downtrend. The opposite is for boom. Whatever I'm going to say here, they do exactly the same the opposite for boom. Now look at this. No, God help us. Yeah. Now, first and foremost, let me come back. You see that? That is zoom level 1. That's zoom level 2, right? Oh no, that is zoom level 3. This is 4, and that is 5. So we have 5 zoom level. This is 5, 4, and 3. Your chart must be on zoom level 3. The first condition is that you must know that crash is selling, or maybe boom is buying. If you watch other video, you will know when a bullish trend has started and maybe a bearish trend has started or something. So that is the first condition. Now you want to catch those drops on crash. The next thing to do is look at this. Just look at this. This has been selling. Now look at what happened. The trigger points are important, but this is more, it's okay. The trigger points will work too. But I want you to look at combining the trigger point with what I'm going to share right now. Now I go there. Have you ever thought of using the RSI 6? In my other videos, I've never really talked about RSI 6, but I want to talk about RSI 6 now. You know, the only time I talked about RSI 6 is when you squeeze it in zoom level 1 and then wait for crash. It's still part of exhaustion. But what I want to talk about here now is very important. Zoom level 3. Now look at this point, and also look at this point. I had to add it to my level. 85 and 95. 50 is the middle, and we have 15 and 5. Now, under level 3 zoom of your chart, anytime, listen carefully and quote me anywhere. Anytime, this is supposed to be one of my topmost secret video, but I'm doing it free because I want people to be liberated from poverty. This is the only way I can give back to the world. All right, so feel free to to learn it and then trade and make good money. Now look at this. If you see this RSI 6 climbing, you don't need to squeeze your screen here. It's already in zoom level 3. It climbs to touch the 85 level. You see that 85 level? It touched that 85 level. As soon as you see the RSI 6, I'm talking about this one, gets to the 85. All right, this is what it represents. As soon as it touches 85, take note, you're not using 1 minute, you're using what? 5 minutes. It means it has gotten to what we call extensive exhaustion point. Extensive EEP represents a point at which the crash cannot go further up. It must come down to gather momentum to go up. That is if it really wants to go up. So when it touches the 85, it represents extensive exhaustion point, EEP. Now, when it has gotten to EEP, the EEP signifies that as soon as it touches 85, EEP has been reached. That's where you load. What did I say? You load. I say you load with confidence. You don't stress yourself. You load here. This way you would have loaded many positions. And after a minute or less, it will drop like this. Close some positions and allow some to run since it is already a downtrend. Now this is why. Now I say the number 3 criteria is the RSI 6 line must be at level 85 and above. Very important. On M5, which signifies an exhaustion for a must drop. It is a must that a drop will happen. This is the point where we load. I've said it now. Number 4, you may want to consider the position of stochastic too. That is what I'm talking about. Now, what's the position of stochastic when this thing was here? Look at the position of stochastic. It was also at the top here. And this is the most important thing. This is the most important thing, the RSI. This also gives a confirmation that, look, it has gotten to 90 of the stock. So we are expecting a drop, and this was the drop. That is the point at which you load. Okay, now let's go back just gently. Now look at it. Just look at when that thing touches 85 again, or anytime it gets closer to 85, you will see a drop happen. Anyway, it gets closer. This is a point to load. It came down. It doesn't fail provided you're in the downtrend. Now let's continue. As it touches, look at this one. It touches 85. It will test your patience, no doubt. When this touched 85 here, there was a drop, no doubt. But when it dropped, that's why I said close some position after the first drop, allow some to run. In as much as it is still within the exhaustion level, it is going to still drop, provided you're in the downtrend. And this alone, if you know how to load, this alone can give you a lot of money. Just this move from here with a good lot size is enough. It makes you a lot of money. Now I don't know, because I had to freeze this. I don't know what happened, but I'm thinking it has to go down the more. Now that is that. Now can I take you to um, mm, okay, that was crash 1000. Let me take you to a crash 500. Let's see if we have the same thing in crash 500. I hope this will work. Okay, this will work too. Now look at this too. This is frozen, so it's not actually an active market, but I need to show you. It's a must. This is exhaustion. It must breathe. This thing is called breathe. It's breathing. It's just like somebody who is retaining air for a long time. When you hold it for a long time, you will have to breathe out so that you don't faint. This is called breathe. It has been holding this buy for a while. Oh dear, it has to breathe. So that is the breathe. At that breathe point is where we load. And this drop in M5 is a lot of money. Like I said, it's going to drop again, no doubt. But you see, what I said was that close, look at it so that you know, finally close some positions after the first drop and leave some to run. Why you're leaving the some to run is because you know that the trend is bearish, it will still drop the more. So that you're taking the first drop, right? As it drops, gives you some good money, you close, allow it to run. Right? Even if it takes you back to negative, not a problem. It's just going to dance around there and then drop again. Proven. So that is that. Now let us go back to history. Every time it gets closer to 85, something happens to it. Now look at another point, and please, you can cross-check this on your own. I don't share something that is not beneficial. I share things that make sense. As soon as it touches 85, there's going to be a drop. Close some position, allow some to run. Now the position you're closing are the ones that are in profit. Every time it gets to that exhaustion point, it will drop. Look at this one. This was it. Look at this one. This was it. It must drop. We just need a drop. A drop is enough. That's why we load. Every time you watch it on level 3, it is a must. It will drop. I'm giving the biggest secret of my trading. And then for your profitability, close after the drop. Close. Wait for it. It will continue to drop. Now, it's not complicated. It never really fails. It never fails. There must be an exhaustion. I am not saying that after the exhaustion it may not still go up, but remember that the idea is to pick the drop, and that's what we call load. And remember, it must be in a downtrend. It never fails. It never fails. Out of every 10 chances, 9 of the time will work out. 9 of the time will work out. It must surely work out. That is how that's what I use to trade and hit and beat my daily targets every day. I never close in the loss. It's not possible. Never. And that's what I use to train other people. Or they have a little personal tweak which is only exposed to my mentees. I'm not telling you this so that you have to be part of it. It's your decision. There are people who are doing very well just watching the videos I have given to them. You don't have to be part of my mentees. You don't even need to be part of us. But if you want to be closely, mentored and guided, why not? You're welcome. And I look forward to seeing you. Let's look at what happens with boom. Boom. All right, the same thing applies with boom. It's a simple principle. It doesn't repent, even though it's not like an indicator. It doesn't repent. As soon as it hits here, that's what happens. Boom, it goes up, and that's what you're looking for. Is that okay? It doesn't change. It doesn't falter. It doesn't change. It doesn't falter. It doesn't change. It doesn't falter. Now look at this. Even you have to be patient. You can test your patience. But as soon as it hits the 85, sorry, in this boom, remember it's not 85, it's 15, opposite of 85, it will certainly go up. Do you know that between here and here can make you $20,000 if you have a good equity and you use a good lot size? Of course, it is a proven stuff. Those who know, they know. Now, that is what happens. Every time it touches that place, something must happen. It is a proven reality. Every time it touches here, there must be a spike. This spike is in 5 minutes. It's a lot of money if you know what that means. Every time it comes here, it must spike. There must be a corresponding, reciprocation. If there is a long sell, there must be a corresponding reciprocation with a good buy, right? And there are so many other technical stuff I think you guys need to learn. Now remember, it must be what? First condition, it must be in a bullish trend. This was not even a bullish trend. How did I know? If I go to H1, you discover that this was not in a bullish trend. But why this had to happen was because this trade, why this had to happen was because this was almost forming a double bottom below. But I don't want to go into all that. So this is basically what this is about. And like I said, even as a trader, I make my losses too, of course. But I will never close a trade in a day with a loss. Of course, I can start with losses. I can make a loss in the course of trading. but I never close my shop with a loss. Thank you very much for listening. If you have questions, you can ask me, and then I look forward to mentoring you, for those who want to be mentored, who want to be shown the way, who want to be helped. And for those who are appreciating the video, please subscribe for more videos and more information, and then just like it for us. I mean, thank you. God bless you, and take care. I love you all. Bye.